Welcome to Big 12 Media Days. Barry Trammell along with OSU writer John Helsley. We're at the Star in Frisco, Texas, Dallas Cowboy headquarters. And John, the Cowboys were here today, and the star of the show, just as we suspected, the mullet. But there was news on the mullet front.
There is news on the mullet. It still lives, believe it or not, a year later from where it made its debut here in Dallas at Big 12 Media Days. It's been trimmed up, yet still rather unruly, and it's a little curly in the back.
Yeah, a little curly. And now that was the star of the show for OSU, but that was not because Zach Sinor, the punter, did not give it the old college try. He did his best to steal the show.
He did do his best, and he did it from the moment he walked in the door. He was passing out pamphlets regarding his Heisman Trophy candidacy, if we want to call it that. He's made a website that he said he worked on the flight down here, and then he dropped it once he landed. He has a T-shirt, Zach Sinor, for Heisman. This guy, if he doesn't make it in the NFL or when his career is over, he's got to have a career in promotions because he's a marketing genius today. Everybody loved him. He was a big hit here.
Well, of course, Zach Sinor's punting is a pretty big weapon. Gundy's mullet's not going to help win any games this year, maybe recruiting for later, but it's not going to win any games. Sinor's punting might, but the Oklahoma State defense definitely will be a factor. You're writing about the defense for the Wednesday Oklahoman. What kind of shape is that OSU defense in?
I think that's TBD, and you hear a lot of encouraging things. They've got some good players back. Trey Flowers, Chad Whitener was here, talked about the defense. I think Mike Gundy's pretty confident about the defense, but a lot of new faces. They have new corners. Those guys are going to have to grow up in a hurry because they're going to go with some guys who have never played, in addition to Adrian Baker, the transfer from Clemson. But you know, I think that's going to be the question as you go into the season. They have all these weapons on offense. They should score a lot of points and be very entertaining. But can they stop people good enough to win enough games to win the Big 12?
Well, if they can, Cowboys should be back in this part of the country for the Big 12 championship game in December. James Washington, Mason Rudolph, they were here today. Two of the big reasons why, the great receiver-quarterback combination. Stay tuned for further OSU coverage here on News OK and every day in the Oklahoman.